We are back here with more Sappy Critic Fringe previews. And today we are with maybe the most anticipated show for me of this year's Fringe Festival, because every single year it is a highlight, one of my favorite things. Mac Rogers is here right now. Hello, Mac.
Thank you so much for having me.
Gideon Productions. The show this year is No Passengers. Tell us all about what we should expect to see.
So this year, the show is sort of about a study of mortality, of like sort of the desperate human attempt to kind of like try to like recapture the past. It's sort of like meditation on midlife. It's kind of a genre mashup of like the seance ghost story and a marital drama. So it's about a man named Alan who is happily remarried to his current wife, Diane, who completely falls apart when his first wife, Maddie, unexpectedly dies in middle age. And like he unexpectedly finds himself grieving her in a way as if they were currently married, and a lot of his life falls apart, and his current wife Diane, at the same time, they're both academics. They're all academics. They're all teachers at an upstate New York school, and his wife Diane is a grad student who specializes in American history, 18th century American history, particularly the spiritualist movement. And she's been fascinated by an obscure spiritualist named Comfort James, who abruptly quit doing seances all of a sudden at the height of her success. And Diane's been obsessed with finding out why. And as you can probably guess, these two threads are going to collide. And the big centerpiece of the play is a big seance that goes in some pretty surprising directions. So it's probably equal parts haunted horror genre and marital drama.
I love it. I've said many times that Kristen Vaughn, who is one of your go-to repertory actresses, has the most amazing presence. I'm terrified of her. I've never had a conversation with her. She's so scary and amazing, and Rebecca, who's also always with you, is such a fantastic actress. And I'm not your director, because I don't think she comes to town.
She will this year. She hasn't always been able to, but she will. She'll be here for Tech in the first performance.
Okay, good, perfect.
It's weird because of our schedule. We're going to have it's the first Sunday of the festival. We're going to have Tech that afternoon. It's back to back. I think it's like 12 to 3 Tech,
and then you go to the show.
4 p.m. show. You show that you got.
There's your show times right there.
That is going to be a day. You talked about Kristen Vaughn. She's going to have. She definitely is going to be delivering some of that Kristen Vaughn stuff that you've come to expect. So there's it definitely. And Becky's got a pretty extraordinary turn as well. So it's definitely a reuniting of the team that we've been bringing ever since our show in 2018, Musical Chairs. Before that, it was just me and Becky. Becky and I brought a play in 2014 called Ligature Marks, and then in 2017 called God of Obsidian. And since then, it's been the three of us ever since. Partly because I'm a big stick in the mud. Becky makes the Cincy Fringe into a vacation. So when we're not performing, she's always out having fun, and I'm sitting around working all day. So she's pretty bored of me. So we bring along Kristen. So both of them actually take time off for Cincy Fringe. They go out and do fun stuff, and I work all day before the show.
Well, it's an amazing thing. I just adore the way you write and the acting and the directing. It's just, I'm telling you, folks, get your tickets for No Passengers at cincyfringe.com. And this year, you're in the No Theater space, which I'm excited about that, because that allows, Fringe is not about the tech, right? But it does allow for a little more, of that stuff. So that's going to be fun. What should people expect to walk away with? What do you hope the audiences walk away with? What do you think?
Well, I think I hope they'll sort of walk away with a little bit. First of all, I hope they'll walk away feeling like they had a full meal, good time. I mean, it's like we definitely are trying to deliver a proper play on all cylinders. Lots of funny stuff, lots of sad stuff, lots of suspenseful stuff, and just like a story that they'll get engrossed in for an hour. But then in terms of takeaways, I'm hoping it would be sort of to think a little bit about the way that our attachments kind of evolve as we move through life. A big part of the inspiration for this play had to do with the fact of like I'm closing in on 50 very rapidly, and I'm getting to the age where not where like lots of people are passing away, but people are starting to.
Mm-hmm.
And because you know,
Sure.
or people, I'm knowing my first people who are getting very ill, and it's an you know, and a lot of them aren't people who are incredibly close to me. One thing social media does is it keeps us up on way more people than we would have ever
That's right.
kept up with in the past. But what it also does is it makes you aware of like who out there, some you know, people that you knew in high school, so, or people you were very close to many years ago, and you're not as close to, who will get very ill or have an accident or something like that. And there's a very strange feeling that you have when someone you used to be quite close to goes through a major life
Yeah.
change or decline or something like that, and you haven't been close in a long time. It's very odd how the human heart works in that way, how human emotions work in that way. Your brain has to in some way regulate the love you feel, because you can't possibly
Mm-hmm.
love everyone the same amount all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a very odd feeling when you discover someone you were close to a long time ago, and it drifted apart, and they're going through a great misfortune. We're like, hearing that news would have devastated me in say 2003,
Mm-hmm.
and now it feels like a more distant thing. Is that like a weird inhuman bad quality, or is that kind of just the way that your brain has to filter so that
Yeah.
you can function in life? And so I hope people will go away thinking about the fact of like the way that we move through life, the way that you know, our long-term attachments, the ways that we move closer to some people and further away from them. In some ways, that's a terribly lonely thing. In some ways, it's a necessary thing so that we can prioritize some people and function.
Yeah.
But the reason I wrote a play about that subject is I don't totally know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I have unresolved feelings about that thing. It's not. It's no fun to write a play about something that you have resolved feelings about.
That's right.
So I hope people will go out of the play feeling like they're not exactly sure how they feel about the subject matter. They'll talk up to their friends about it afterwards. They'll think about it afterwards.
Yeah, I think that's something you do well, is that you make profound concepts come to life on stage in a way that's entertaining, and thought provoking, funny, terrifying, and leaves people talking for sure. Which is why you've won so many awards at Cincinnati Fringe and around
Thank you.
other places as well. So people can get their tickets for the show. Here's the show dates again. First week of Fringe. Make sure you check this one out. Tickets are available now at cincyfringe.com. You can get the all-access pass. They're $300. That's all the shows. There's 35 plus this year. You can do a flex pass. That's $90. It's 6 tickets any way you want to use them. So you can go to 6 different shows or bring a friend, see 3, however you want to mix those up. Or individual tickets are $18 or $20 if you want to be extra generous and help out the artist. So, yeah, I think we've covered it. I'm excited to see what you've got going on. It's the only
We're
show
thrilled
so
to be
far that
back.
I've
We love
scheduled.
this festival.
Yeah, tell us about what about Cincinnati Fringe is keeps you bringing me back.
Well, I tell you, in 2014, Becky and I, we really wanted to kind of do a national Fringe tour, and we went to a bunch of different Fringe festivals. The first one we went to was Cincinnati, because our director Jordana had done some work in Cincinnati between at the end of college and the beginning of her professional life, so she knew people there. And we were like, okay, this will be we very sort of condescendingly, this will be like our training wheel Fringe. And then we had a better time at Cincy than any of the other places we went. We think it is an utterly unique community. The way things, the nightlife at Fringe Central afterwards, the attitude that the artists bring, the enormously communal attitude that the artists bring, which is clearly influenced from the top down by the people who run the festival. The types of material that goes on. It's all. I love the shows. I love the people. This is a festival I would come to just hang out at Fringe Central. But Becky and Kristen and I, all three, every year we come, we talk about what a rejuvenating experience it is. We were very sorry to miss it last year, and we're very thrilled to be back this year. I think it's a unique setting and a unique community, and I really take my hat to all of you who are responsible for sustaining it.
My favorite part is obviously the shows are great, but that after hours stuff where you get to go hang out and just commune together and make new friends and see people from out of town that you haven't seen in a year or two. and rekindle those relationships. It's really what Fringe is about. It is Cincinnati's Summer Theater Party, and it happens May 31st through June 15th. Get your tickets at cincyfringe.com. No Passengers, one of those must-see shows, I promise. We'll see you there, Mac.
Thank you so much.